2,000 subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers.
Greetings, programs. Drunkens and Dragons here with another quick episode about how to play D&D like a badass. I gotta say, get a shit ton of subscribers on YouTube. Oh yeah, baby. And by a shit ton, I mean 2,000. I wonder if I've ever even known a total of 2,000 people. I can't think of 2,000 people off the top of my head, but to all 2,000 of you out there, exactly 2,000 as of a few minutes ago, I salute you. 2,000 stinking, 2,000 crazy-eyed, lumpy-headed, weird-looking, tiny-eared, no-hands-having, 9-thumb, 3-sleeve t-shirt wearing, succotash, peas and carrots type folk. What am I even saying anymore? Okay, hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. Oh, shit. Thanks for tuning in. We got 2,000 subs on the channel, so it's time to sit down, take a breather from the projects for a second, and have a beer in the heat. I think it's starting to cool off a little bit, so that's kind of nice. And by cool off, I mean it's like 120 degrees. I got my old buddy here, my getting schnapps, my master of the hunt. So hey, this one's for you, subs, thanks. Oh, playing D&D is cool. You know, it's cool in the beginning, and it's cool now. No matter how many people think it's cool or think it's not, it's cool. So here's to you guys. It's an afternoon now. All right. No singing. Whew. Okay, so I thought for the 2,000 subscriber video, I would not only sit here and drink like a moron while I stare at my styrofoam, but I would actually try to answer some recent questions from the comments and the private messages that I've been getting. Thank you everybody for all the interesting stuff you're saying. You're all cool. Okay, the first one was this guy Jordan, who is up in Canadian, so he's in Canadian. He's in the country of Canadian. Hey there. So he's asking, how do you make these chess style boards? So what I think he means by chess is that there's a grid built into my boards. So you guys have probably seen this stuff before. Here's how you do it, dude. First of all, you go to Lowe's, you get some blue styrofoam. It's this brand right here. It's probably like Dow, I think is what it probably says there, but you can't see that. Anyways, what is this? Nominal board thickness, 1.5 inches. So you asked on the comment there if I was using something thicker, but I'm totally not, my man. Part of how you cut the highlights on the top of the board can make it look a lot thicker than it is. So if you look at this one right here, it's black down on the bottom and it's gray on the top, and that can actually make it look bigger than it is. So anyways, you probably have the right stuff. So get some of this stuff, and then what you do is you just cut a grid. I don't know if you can see it in the glare quite properly. You just cut a grid straight into the giant piece of foam. So I literally just take my X-Acto here. Here's my X-Acto. Just take one of these guys, and I just freehand it. I just go firm, firm, firm. And my grid's all like not straight and weird and warpy and everything. And then I'll cut usually like a spiral or some goofy symbols or something. Or I'll do a DM Scotty's ballpoint pen trick. So if you like draw or write on your styrene with a ballpoint pen, it'll leave an impression, and your dry brush won't go into the book. Easy stuff. Paint it black, then use a sponge and paint on some highlights of either green or all the green ones over there, or gray. Little flecks of gold and silver help to get that rocky look. So good luck making your own board. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is the best piece that you can add to your toolbox as a dungeon master, is the big stone board that starts it all. Even a blank one of these is a really good tool. Skull, grant me a boon of a nice clean board. There we go. So there's what you're gonna make. I'll also add some little plastic plants. So I'll drill a hole with a toothpick and then kind of press a little plastic plant into that hole, or just use lichen or moss that you gather from the yard. That's how you do it. So what's so great about this thing? Well, it just gives you your fundamental grid. You can't draw on it like dry erase, so that sucks. But everything else about it, it gives you a raised surface. It's really mini friendly, like it's grippy and it's flat and spongy and really good for rolling dice on, like it feels sweet. So even if the only other thing you have is wooden blocks or random objects, like welcome to the entrance to the glass dungeon, that kind of stuff. So there you have it, dude. That's how you make your so-called chessboard. Okay, that was the first question. Two-handed sword, two-handed sword, two-handed sword. The next question comes from a man, Cyrus Draken, who asks, talk about boss fights for your 2K subs thing. Okay, whew. Boss fights, the hardest thing to make awesome in D&D. I started the whole thing just with a drawing. So I don't know if you can, so I just drew the tank. And then I was trying to think through, how can I make this thing challenging and interesting without it just being a massive bullet sponge? So if you look at the other page here, I tried to make an AI chart for the thing, for the damn thing. So I wouldn't have to just choose what attacks to use. But it kind of fought dumb. I think I could have made it fight a lot smarter if I would have just used sadism to run the boss instead of random action rolls. It gives it a little bit of sense of disjointed. The thing doesn't move with strategy. And that sucks, so it gets weak. It becomes very jammable and you kind of avoid its attacks and then you're just kind of hounding on it. So how do you do boss fights? What's the story of a good boss fight? Whew. I would say probably the first thing that I like about one is it moves while it's happening. So maybe you fight your boss over the course of 3 boards or 2 boards, and there is motion. So there's the one part which is like almost the lock or the pursuit or the pull, and then you have the actual like slugfest, and there's a bit of a transition between. If you cut right to the slugfest, it can feel really static, especially with a large object like this guy, twice this far from his final battle space. So let's say this was a dragon or something. So he'd go there, and then he'd kind of do one of these, and then we could get into this side area, and then you enter that one, kind of like this. And there's a big wall, and it's a totally different scene and stuff. So you get to fight him 2 different ways. And like when he's doing this, he's like moving really fast, kind of dragon-y stuff. The only thing that's weird about this particular siege machine is like, I find the scale of things not nearly epic enough in miniature land. So this can't be a dragon. I mean, this is barely a large bird in comparison to this guy. That is a different subject. So what's good about a boss fight? Well, first of all, get some motion in there. So move your boss fights from one space to another if you can. If the players jam the boss to keep him from moving, go with the flow. Maybe that's how they want to bring him down, hard and fast and merciless style. What I would say is always make sure that your boss or your sort of monster has a very unique name and some kind of micro story that you can role play to. Just so that you're not just going brass dragon attacks. I believe the children are future. Whitney Harris is Whitney Houston's wife. Everybody's made of gelatin inside. Give yourself pectin pride, and you'll get firmer. Chill overnight and form into a delicious party shot. Okay. Yo, 2K. Ah, Father, the rock must awaken.